Hi there, friends, and welcome back to the Whitaker-Myers Wealth Managers Question of the Week. I'm John Mark Young, and today we're diving into a question that comes to us from Stephen in Bellville, Ohio. And Stephen asks, John Mark, I think I found my dream home. It might be a little pricier than I had anticipated paying when we started this process. So to be financially prudent, I want to ensure I'm getting the very best deal that my wife and I can get. Can you please share the top 5 tips for negotiating when buying a house that you give your clients that will presumably help us as we go through this negotiation? Well, Stephen, this is a great question because whether you're a first-time home buyer or a seasoned pro, you're buying your second, your third, your fourth house, getting and securing the best deal possible is extremely important. Money is made at the buy, or as it relates to your personal house, monthly payment is saved at the buy. So let's talk about the top 5 tips we talk to our clients about when purchasing a home. And tip number 1 is do your research. This is like anything in your life. If you want to get a good deal, you want to do well at it, you need to be educated. You need to do your research. Before you even think about making an offer, make sure that you've done your homework. Look up the local market trends. Check out recent sale prices of similar houses in that similar area and understand the property's value as it relates to comparables, which is the most likely way a residential house would be valued. Knowledge is power, and it gives you a solid foundation for your negotiation strategy. The good news is in today's world with Zillow, you can pretty much get any information you want. You can look and see what every house in the neighborhood last sold for. It might be irrelevant because it's too long ago, but you can see that information. Zillow will give you their estimated comparables of that property so that you can check pricing. Knowledge is power, my friend, and to be able to get the best leverage in a negotiation, you need to be armed with that knowledge. The second thing we tell our clients to look at is know your budget. Of course, we're financial planners and advisors, so it's crucial to have a clear understanding of your financial limits. Get pre-approved for a mortgage, as Dave Ramsey tells you, so you have a pre-approval letter, and factor in additional costs like closing fees, inspections, and any repairs you might need to make, and decide on a maximum price you're willing to pay. This way you won't get swept up in the excitement and end up overspending on that property that you love so much. Remember, what our friends from Ramsey Solutions teach us about buying a home, very simplistically, they teach us you need to save for a down payment, or presumably you're selling another house that is your down payment. And your goal, your aim is to save at least 20% of the home's purchase price in a down payment, because this allows you to avoid private mortgage insurance, or PMI, which can add to your monthly payment, does not build equity, and only protects the bank, not you or the mortgage lender. Second, get pre-approved for that mortgage, is what Ramsey tells us. Before you start house hunting, get pre-approved for a mortgage. Not only shows sellers that you're serious about the offer you've made, but it gives a clear picture of what you can actually afford. And then the third thing Ramsey Solutions folks tell us is stick to the 25% rule. What's that? Your monthly mortgage payment, including property taxes and insurance, should not exceed 25% of your take-home pay. This ensures you have enough room in your budget for other expenses and other savings goals like your baby step 4. You can't negate your baby step 4 because you bought too big of a house. And then the other thing they tell us is opt for the 15-year fixed rate mortgage. Ramsey recommends choosing a 15-year fixed rate mortgage over a 30-year. Why? Well, your mortgage payments are going to be higher on a monthly basis, but you'll pay off your home significantly faster and you'll save a large amount of interest. Granted, this one is harder to do in today's world, keeping your payment at 25% of your take-home pay and doing a 15-year mortgage, because higher mortgage rates have made the cost of borrowing a lot more expensive, but it still can be done, especially if you have a large enough down payment. Getting back to our 5 tips, those were some of Ramsey's. Our tip number 3 is identify the seller's motivation. So if you can try to understand why the seller is moving, that can give you an edge. Are they in a hurry to sell because of a job relocation? Or are they waiting for the right price? Do they have a certain price they're looking for? They don't need to move. They just want a certain price. This information can help you tailor your offer to meet their needs, which might make them more willing to negotiate with you. Perhaps if they're moving because of a job change, you could be flexible on your move-in day so they don't have to find temporary housing until they actually move for that job, And that will allow them to accept your offer over another more competitive offer on a price standpoint, but not willing to negotiate on the actual move-in date. Those sort of things, if you know that, again, knowledge is power. The fourth thing we tell people to try to do when negotiating a home purchase is make a strong but reasonable offer. Start with a fair offer based on your research that you did in step number 1 and your budget that you did in step number 2. If it's too low, you risk offending the seller. They're never going to even talk to you again. If it's too high, you lose your negotiating room. Be respectful and show that you're serious about buying their property. In President Trump's book, The Art of the Negotiation, he conveys that successful negotiation is a combination of strategic thinking, confidence about what you're offering on, you're negotiating on, and a willingness to take calculated risks. He applies these to business, but you can apply them to your personal negotiations as well to create a more successful outcome for yourself. And then the fifth thing that we tell people to look for is be prepared to walk away. This is one of the toughest but most important tips. If the seller isn't willing to meet your terms, be ready to walk away. There are always other properties out there, if this falls through, that would be similar, and you don't want to settle for a deal that doesn't meet your financial needs. Staying firm shows the seller that you have other options, and that is a very, very strong competitive situation to be in, is when you have options, and that can lead to better terms for you. And if there isn't much interest in the property because of cost, size, or something else that makes it unique to you, but worrisome for other buyers, then your ability to walk away may be what gets them back to you ultimately in terms of something they want to settle on if there's just no other offers out there. So there you have it, folks. The top 5 tips for negotiating when buying a house. Remember, preparation and confidence are key. So if you found this video helpful, would you do us a favor? You can do us a favor by hitting the like and the subscribe button on the YouTube or Rumble's interface. That helps us by pushing our content out to more people and allows you to get our content as we release it. Additionally, if you would like to talk to one of our financial coaches or our financial planners, our coaches help you more in baby steps 1, 2, and 3 as you're getting out of debt, building a budget, building that emergency fund, and trying to have somebody help you hold you accountable to those goals. And our financial planners help you in baby steps 4, 5, 6, and 7 as you're ready to start building that retirement fund, college savings, and eventually, of course, baby step 6, getting that nice new house you bought paid off as quickly as possible so that payment can start going to building wealth as opposed to the bank's interest. So thanks so much for watching. We'll look forward to seeing you next week.